Good afternoon. We are holding in the beginning of Parshas Yisro. For those of you on the west coast and the east coast and who are not familiar with the Torah portion of the week, the Parsha of Yisro, or Jethro, is the place in the Torah where the Ten Commandments are mentioned. They're mentioned one more time in Parshas Veschanim, but not as a historical event as it's happening, but rather a recounting of what went on before. But the actual telling of the historical event of the giving of the Torah, that all the world heard the word of God as it was spoken to the people of Israel at Mount Sinai, that event took place on the 6th day of Sivan, the year 2448, 3,329, and going to be 29 years ago. The recounting of that is in this week's Torah portion. And you have to wonder as to the order of the Ten Commandments. It begins with the highest level of belief in God, and it ends with something that seems obvious and seems unnecessary, and also sometimes highly impossible. The first commandment was, I am the Lord your God, so believe in me, be aware of me, be aware of the fact that I am the one that gives you the power, that there's no other power but me. The last of the Ten Commandments is, do not covet your neighbor's wife, his house, his mule, his donkey, or whatever belongs to your friend. And this last commandment is puzzling. The reason why it's puzzling is because we are creatures of jealousy. And we know that life and death has often hinged upon protecting your turf. When somebody moves into your turf and takes your stuff, or takes your woman, your girl, are you ready to put your dukes up and ready to fight? That's the reality of life. And so it would be necessary that people not take each other's things. But the Torah says, lo sis ave, lo sachma, do not covet. In another place it says, don't even lust, don't even desire. That's strange. Why would you not desire something that's beautiful? I mean, the whole of Madison Avenue, the whole of Hollywood is based upon this feeling of lust and desire. Of course, those of us who are pietistic, the ones that call us Puritans, that we're not interested, that we're jealous of other people having fun, we understand and we believe that a person is healthier if he deals with what he has, not with what he doesn't have. But still, the world runs by, one-upsmanship. I got a nicer car than you. My gal is nicer than yours, and so on and so forth. That's what this world is all about, and at least superficially. And therefore, if it's meant to be one-upsmanship, the ability to take or to get, even legally, what belongs to your friend, should not be such a terrible thing. The Torah says, no, don't even desire, don't even think about it. The question is, what does it have to do with the belief in one God? And I understand that in order to prevent murder, in order to prevent violence, you have to protect the other person's space and the other person's property and the other person's things. But still, not desiring, that's kind of hard. It's hard to do, and it's almost impossible. You see something that's nice, you can't help it. can't help but liking it. You see a beautiful thing or a beautiful person and you covet it, you want it. Doesn't mean you're going to go out and try to take it from someone else, but still the nature is that way. And there are different interpretations. But what I want to put out today is the following. Quite often we lose our heads and our hearts to other things. And if it belongs to someone else, or even if it doesn't belong to someone else, but we've been told that it's not yours, you're not wanted, and so on and so forth, you still look for openings and look to try to find a way, and so on and so forth. The Torah is telling us a truth, a universal truth, and this is the following. And I've seen it over and over again. People are destined to have whatever they're going to have. If you're destined to have a lot of money, you're going to get a lot of money. If you're destined to have a beautiful wife, you're going to have a beautiful wife. If you're destined to have a magnificent home, you're going to have a magnificent home. It all depends upon what God has in store for you. The problem that a human being has is that when a human being is stuck with something else, something that is not his, then the thing that is his can't come to him. In other words, if you are stuck emotionally to someone or something, let's say you're just fascinated by a particular type of automobile and you really can't get that automobile out of your mind, and you really, really would like to have it, but you can't because it belongs to someone else. That fascination and that attachment does not allow you to get what you can get and what you can be happy with. Being trapped emotionally by someone or something does not allow you the freedom to go where you need to go. You know, we talked about the famous case of Rabbi Kaufman and how a jilted partner had prevented him from having children. But in that process, that girl who was jilted, who was so angry, was never able to connect with another man, was not able to get her bashert, was never able to get married. And the Rebbe saw this, and as soon as she gave up, as soon as she forgave Rabbi Kaufman with all of her heart, she was freed up. She was not attached to him. She was able to attach to the one that she was going to get married to, who was also, by the way, a wonderful guy, a wonderful teacher, a wonderful mensch. And this was just one of those things where you had to let go. You had to let go honestly, fairly, and that allowed you to connect to where you had to connect to. The same thing is true. God is saying, I am the Lord your God. I took you out of Egypt. I took you out of your limitations. Don't get stuck with being jealous of somebody else's success. The reason for that is because if you're stuck with the other person's success, you won't be able to go where you need to go. And it could be that you're going to surpass that person. But if you're in love with that man's wife, you wouldn't be able to connect with the woman of your dreams. If you're in love with a particular piece of land, you're not going to be able to get the land that you're really supposed to get. And so the Torah is telling you, trust God, that you don't have to go ahead and take what belongs to somebody else. Just trust God, that God will allow you to get what it is that you need to get. And you know what? Ultimately, people who I've seen, they were the wallflowers, they weren't the people who were popular, They married the best. They had the best lives. They were the most successful. Possibly because they didn't get too involved, too emotionally involved with others, and they were able to let go. Let go, and God will get you to where you need to get to.